For Pat Reeser,
Well, this is one of my favorite rooms and spaces in our home.
the world is a canvas
This is my favorite apron.
full of possibilities.
Taking an idea, making it your own, putting in your own colors, and standing back and saying, yes, that's good.
Good.
Yeah.
Like a home-cooked meal, maybe with a little help from Reeser's Fine Foods.
Twice baked potatoes are so good. And they are so much easier than making them from scratch yourself.
The humble potato is a big part of Pat's story. One that includes a $2 billion a year family business and a family foundation as synonymous with philanthropy and community as it is pantry staples. You'll find Pat's generous fingerprints all over the Northwest, from the Patricia Reeser Center for the Arts in Beaverton.
I kind of think of the PRCA as the family room of Beaverton.
To countless buildings and, of course, the football stadium at her alma mater, Oregon State University. They are the marks of a true Oregon history maker.
So yeah, just a quick casual question. What do you want your legacy to be?
Casual, yeah, right.
We'll come back to that one. For now, more on the humble potato. The year was 1950. Pat's late husband, Al Reeser, was just a kid when his family moved to Oregon. They rented a farmhouse in Cornelius with a back porch. It's where Al's mom started everything.
And that's where she cooked her potatoes, got her neighbors to peel and dice, the kids in the afternoon adding the pickle or the paprika to the top, and she sold it to Safeway. And so that was the beginning.
10 years later, Pat and Al, who met and married in college, took on the family business, encouraged by Al's parents to buy them out.
We borrowed from everybody we could, and within a 2.5-week period, we became parents, graduates, and deeply in debt. And Al was now the CEO of Mrs. Reeser Salads.
The Reesers raised 5 children. Pat earned a master's in special ed and worked many years in Beaverton schools. All the while, they invested in their growing business and gave back to the community, even before they could do so abundantly.
We're stewards of all that we've been provided, and I take that part very seriously. Yeah.
Success followed. Pat served as inaugural chair of the Oregon State University Board of Trustees and co-chaired OSU's first comprehensive fundraising campaign. As they raised millions of dollars to build out the campus, Pat says it took courage to move boldly for the future.
At some point, you come to this understanding that you are educating these young adults to solve problems that we haven't identified yet, using tools that haven't been invented yet. And that's a huge responsibility.
She's truly a leader. And
Sean Scoville is president and CEO of the Oregon State University Foundation.
my gratitude is not just for what she's done for the students in the state of Oregon, or even the economy through the investments she's made, through the arts, but it's because she's taught us all how to be better.
In 2010, Al Reeser passed away. Pat's loss left a deep void and a pressing question.
Who am I? I'm no longer the boss's wife. What was my role going to be in this world now?
She found the answer through a friend at Medical Teams International, a Tigard-based nonprofit serving people around the globe.
I want to know more about the world. Is there a place for me? And her response was, well, I think you ought to go to Guatemala. And I said, when? She said,
That service trip paved the way for many more.
I think the work that she's done with medical teams reflects who she is as a person.
Joe DiCarlo is Medical Team's executive director for U.S. programs. He remembers when Pat joined them in Uganda. In a crowded refugee camp, a nurse told them that many mothers had been giving birth on the floor. Joe remembers how that weighed on Pat's heart.
Gave it a lot of thought and prayer, and then came back the next day and said, I want to fund the expansion of this maternity ward as well as new beds. Now you would think that's the end of the story, but we're talking about Pat Reeser, and it's not.
The next year, they all returned to Uganda and visited the expanded maternity ward.
And when I turned the corner, I saw Pat on a ladder drawing a mural on the side of the maternity ward. And then later, she painted the mural, infusing in the space beauty, color, dignity, and hope.
For anyone who knows Pat, it's hard to imagine a world without her.
The good news is she's getting younger, so that helps all of us. She's as active now as she was when I met her 20 years ago. It's because she's still learning so much, and she's aggressively learning, and she's traveling all over the world. She's not slowing down in any way.
Which brings us back to that question.
I wanted to...
The one about Pat's legacy and how others will remember the life she's still painting.
It'll look very different when it's finished.
When that time comes, she hopes it will embody the words of Philippians 4:8.
And it goes like this: whatever is true, honorable, just, pure, lovely, commendable, excellent, praiseworthy, think on these things. And I hope my legacy is that Pat lived into those values and her life reflected that.
And while art is in the eye of the beholder, there are some things everyone can agree on.
That to me is a beautiful picture of who Pat Reeser is.